This is my prime example of people that's puppet masters trying to control the narrative.
We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
Here's a story that feels like it's straight out of a political drama series. And trust us, you're not going to want to miss a second of this. Imagine a town thrown into chaos by one person's desperate fight to hold onto power. That's the story of Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and Thornton Township supervisor. She's been accused of everything from financial mismanagement to weaponizing local government for personal gain, and yet she refuses to back down. Her rise to power was chaotic, but her potential downfall? That's shaping up to be even messier.
We're not your damn subjects, we are your bosses. We are the citizens of Dolton, and you will not continue to treat us like this, because you are on the way out.
Let's start with the most recent twist in this saga, the Democratic caucus that turned into an all-out political brawl. Henyard, who currently holds the role of Thornton Township supervisor, was trying to secure her spot on the ballot for re-election. But she didn't meet the requirements. Her slate of candidates was incomplete because she didn't have a certified assessor on her ticket. Enter Napoleon Harris, an Illinois state senator and Democratic commitment, who swooped in with a full slate of candidates and snagged the nomination. This was the first time in 30 years Thornton Township Democrats used a caucus instead of a primary. And let's just say, the drama didn't disappoint. Henyard's reaction: pure outrage. She stormed out of the caucus, accusing Harris and his team of running an illegal process. She wasn't shy about making her feelings known, calling Harris a coward and vowing to sue everyone involved. "They can't beat me," she declared, insisting the only reason a caucus was held instead of a primary was to block her from running. Her supporters echoed her complaints, claiming voter suppression and accusing Harris of rigging the process by letting his backers into the venue first, leaving many of Henyard's supporters out in the cold, literally.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. My people are here. They're not gonna go nowhere.
But let's not forget, this isn't the first time Henyard has found herself at the center of controversy. Her tenure as both Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor has been riddled with scandal, from lavish spending to questionable leadership decisions. Her critics argue that chaos seems to follow wherever she goes. And honestly, they might have a point. Reports allege that Henyard used township credit cards for personal expenses, including thousands spent on trips and luxury items. One particularly jaw-dropping revelation: over $43,000 spent on Amazon in a single day. That's not exactly what most people expect from a public official.
Fooled on how the Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
And if you thought the financial mismanagement stopped there, think again. The former Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, who was brought in as a special investigator, revealed that Dolton's general fund went from having a surplus of over $5 million to a deficit of nearly $4 million in just 2 years. Let that sink in for a moment. Lightfoot's report also uncovered widespread misuse of village funds, with 2 police officers earning more in overtime than their annual salaries. One officer reportedly made over $100,000 in overtime alone. Meanwhile, the residents of Dolton, who have a median income of just $24,000, are left footing the bill. But Henyard's leadership style isn't just about financial chaos, it's about power. And one of her most controversial moves has been using the police as her personal security detail. Critics argue that this takes officers off the streets, leaving the town less safe. Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins, who was fired by Henyard, called her use of police for personal errands and appearances a waste of resources. And let's not forget the raids. Multiple local businesses claimed they were targeted with police raids after refusing to donate to Henyard's civic events. One business owner even went to the FBI, accusing Henyard of harassment and retaliation.
I've said for a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this things started at the township, where the people were, just showing their displeasure.
One of the most bizarre accusations against Henyard involves her alleged targeting of the Dolton Park District, an entirely separate government entity. The Park District claims Henyard issued over 2,000 in citations for basic maintenance tasks, like installing new playground equipment and spreading fresh mulch. Park District President Cleo Jones said this is something they've done every year to ensure kids have a safe, clean environment to play in. "We don't play politics here," Jones said, "and do not put us in the middle of politics by issuing us these political citations." Even more troubling, the Park District has accused Henyard of blocking 2 grants worth over $500,000 that were meant for park improvements, potentially costing taxpayers hundreds of thousands.
7 minutes. That's all it took for Tiffany Henyard to be out as the Democratic nominee for Thornton Township supervisor, and she left here visibly upset.
This isn't the first time Henyard has been accused of withholding resources to punish her critics. In the past, trustees have claimed that Henyard's administration would delay permits, deny funding, or even shut down businesses run by her political opponents. One trustee described her leadership style as vindictive and controlling, adding, "She doesn't just want power, she wants to crush anyone who questions her." This pattern has left many residents feeling frustrated and voiceless. As one Park District executive put it, "What resident wants to look outside their house and see beat up stuff? If we can upgrade these things and you're preventing it with a permit, the residents are suffering." Despite these accusations, Henyard has continued to maintain her innocence, often blaming others for the controversies surrounding her. In a recent public statement, she lashed out at critics in the media, saying, "And that's just me telling you a little bit because all this pointing the finger at Tiffany or lying on me, I'm over it. Now it's time for me to speak. As I say, truth speaks." She's also accused trustees and other officials of sabotaging her efforts, claiming they're more concerned with their own political ambitions than serving the community. Whether this is deflection or genuine frustration, her refusal to take responsibility has only deepened the divide between her administration and the people she was elected to serve.
So tonight's regular scheduled Village Hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting the days.
If all of this sounds like a lot, buckle up, because we're not done yet. Henyard's handling of the Dolton Police Department has been nothing short of chaotic. Her interim police chief, Ronnie Burge-Sar, was recently removed from his position after a judge ruled that he wasn't eligible to serve. This left the department without a leader, further fueling concerns about public safety. Meanwhile, trustees have openly clashed with Henyard over her leadership decisions, with some boycotting meetings to prevent her from appointing new allies to key positions. And if you thought things couldn't get more dramatic, let's talk about the potential government shutdown in Thornton Township. Henyard recently warned that the township could lose its insurance coverage because trustees refused to attend meetings. Their absence meant there wasn't a quorum, so no action could be taken to approve the insurance. Trustee Chris Gonzalez defended the boycott, saying it was necessary to prevent Henyard from appointing a new trustee who would give her unchecked power.
2025, and clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
But Henyard fired back, accusing the trustees of putting the community at risk. "We have no insurance right now," she said, warning that the township's vehicles, buildings, and even residents could be left unprotected. "How do we operate?" she asked. "If someone falls, who pays for it?" The standoff has left residents caught in the crossfire, with many frustrated by the gridlock and lack of basic services. Despite all this, Henyard insists she's not going anywhere. "Know this, I am going to come through on a landslide just like Trump did," she recently told supporters, comparing herself to former President Donald Trump. "Like it or not, I'm your mayor." Her confidence might seem misplaced, given the ongoing FBI investigation into her alleged corruption. Federal agents have reportedly subpoenaed employment records, personnel files, and financial documents as part of their probe. And Henyard's allies aren't immune either. One of her closest supporters, former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. His lawyer claims the charges are part of a broader effort to build a case against Henyard. So, where does this leave Thornton Township and Dolton? Residents are fed up, trustees are at odds, and the town's future hangs in the balance. Some fans of this ongoing political soap opera have taken to social media to share their thoughts. "I'm quite sure she is the reason why the town has no insurance," one commenter wrote. Another added, "She doesn't pay her own bills. Stop her and continue to expose her and embarrass her, period." And then there's the legal battle over the caucus. Henyard's lawyer claims the process was riddled with irregularities, from last-minute rule changes to voter suppression. But Harris's team isn't backing down, insisting the caucus was fair and legal. Senator Harris refuses to engage in petty political banter, his spokesperson said. The focus should remain on addressing the critical issues that truly matter to the community. Meanwhile, election experts have weighed in, saying the rules requiring a full slate of candidates may be too restrictive under federal law. Could this open the door for Henyard to challenge the results in court? Only time will tell.
People were getting let in at the proper time. We had a caucus, and the people voted for a slate of candidates to represent them.
As this saga unfolds, one thing is clear. Tiffany Henyard is a fighter, and she's not going down without a battle. Whether it's suing her political opponents, rallying her supporters, or clashing with trustees, she's determined to stay in the game. But at what cost? Her town's finances are in shambles, its government is gridlocked, and its residents are losing patience. So the question is, how far will Henyard go to hold onto power? And more importantly, what will be left of Thornton Township and Dolton when the dust finally settles? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this wild story.